Today I went to the Hall of Flame. It's a tribute to firefighters, and it's a great museum. I went there like around probably 20 years ago, maybe longer than that. I know it was before 9/11, and I don't remember this museum being as large as it was. And I was kind of surprised how much it's grown. And if you're from Phoenix, it's right across the street from the Phoenix Zoo, and the address is 6101 East Van Buren. And or if you know where Phoenix Municipal Stadium's at, it's right in the same location. So it's pretty easy to find. And that museum has been around actually in Wisconsin in 1961 and relocated to Phoenix in 1974. And it's since grown to the largest historical firefighting museum. So if you're in Phoenix, it's in our own backyard. So I recommend you go to it, and it really is a neat place. And it looks kind of deceiving. If you look at just the front of the building, it doesn't look that big. But when you go inside, it's divided into like about 5 sections. And the first section, when you first walk in, when you begin the tour, is Gallery 1, it's hands horse-drawn apparatus. And, and then Gallery 2 is motorized apparatus. Gallery 3 is motorized apparatus, fire alarm telegraph systems. And then number 4 is motorized apparatus and arm packed exhibit. Then you have also wildland firefighting gallery. So it's quite big actually. And then all the fire apparatus has signs right in front of there that tells you what it's used for, what year it was built. Now this some of this stuff is from the 1800s, so it's really interesting. And that's Gallery 1 where I was at, and this is the hand and horse-drawn apparatus. Now this one's from 1866, and it's really neat how much work they put into the design of these fire apparatus. Look how much work they put into that. God, it's It's really neat. Now they also have equipment from all over the world, um, all over the United States. So it's pretty neat. And it also tells you, has a little sign, and it gives you the history of each particular item. Like this one's really neat looking. I mean, you could put this in a just a regular museum. And then you step to the next hall, and then here's a motorized apparatus, which kind of looks more like familiar fire trucks that that we're used to. Now this next one's a great looking fire truck. And they also had a section dedicated to 9/11, and they had pictures of the firefighters that perished in that in the buildings. I was working in a retail store when 9/11 happened, and I just remember the whole store was just silent. We were just looking at the TV screens. We just couldn't believe it. It was just, and it was just incredible. And what they did also too, they grounded all the planes. You couldn't, you couldn't travel any place. Yeah, if you had to travel, you had to take a car. It was something. And all those pictures of theirs are the firefighters that died that day. And it was a horrible day. They also have screens in the museum, and they have like uh, stuff on a loop of, of newscasters talking about 9/11, the day it happened. I remember this too. This is over in Yarnell, which is about 100 miles north of Phoenix. And on June of 2013, there was a fire that broke out around the Yarnell area. And so Prescott sent over 20 hotshots, which was the guys that put out fires in the forest. And out of 20, 19 got killed. And that was really sad because these guys, they look like they're all young, probably in their 20s, early 20s, 30s, maybe even younger than that. So that was pretty sad for that. But they anyway, they have a display and a memorial to these guys. And they have also have a room that deals with forest fires.
I've always wondered if instead of just hiking past trash and rock there, if I, what if I been able to say something, that would have kept people from going, but I didn't feel it was my position. But that always nagged at me. Some of the investigators have told me that if I've been about somewhere around 5 seconds slower, I would, I guess this would be one more class.
And then the next room was actual display from Phoenix firefighters back in the 70s. And then they had, you could hear the transmissions, uh, actual transmissions. It was pretty neat. In that same room, they actually have a fire truck from 9/11, and it tells you a little story about it too. And here's a loop from 60 Minutes talking about 9/11 that day. That was pretty interesting too. So it's a really really neat museum. You know, I go to a lot of museums, pretty much all over the Southwest in different states, but this is has to be one of the better museums. It's just a great museum, and I was here probably around had to be 20 to 25 years ago, but it seems like it's like tripled in size since I last came here. So so if you live in the Phoenix area or you plan to visit, it's really a good place to take a look. It really is. It's really eye opening. Some of the stuff there. It's I had a you know I should say fun time because some parts were not fun to look at, but it's really is it's really a for a historical reference. It's a great place to go to. Anyway, what I do is I go to different museums in the Phoenix area, and I might expand that to different cities. Um, Probably not for another few months yet, because there's still a lot of museums in Phoenix. But probably later on, I do go to a lot of museums in Los Angeles, San Francisco, uh, and different states. But I'm kind of concentrating right now on Phoenix, and maybe later on I'll put those in my YouTube videos. But anyway, for now, Arizona, Phoenix is a great place to live at. If you're going to visit or you want fun things to do, go to my channel, subscribe to it, give me a like, and I will talk to you later.